everyone, welcome back to the show. This is Easy Oil Painting. In this week we're going to try something nice and free, nice and loose, nice and easy. Alright, experimenting just with different colours and just having a bit of fun and letting loose on the canvas. Alright, no kind of complicated drawing, nothing like that. It's just to get you used to just being nice and loose with the brush, and it's just really fun. Alright, now I have a painting here which I did already before in another lesson for my students, and this is it. So look, it's just very colourful, lots of knife work, lots of just lashing on thick paint, lots of different colours. There won't be much mixing on the palette, all the mixing will be done on the canvas. Okay, so just something nice and fresh and loose like this. It just helps you, I suppose, loosen up when you're painting, and you know, you're not kind of worried about drawing, getting lines perfect and all that kind of thing. So there's no drawing in this really, apart from just one or two very rough lines with the brush. But look, we're going to try it this week. I hope you like it. Let me know what you think, and let's go and have a bit of fun. Grab your canvas and your brushes and your paints, and let's crack on and have a bit of fun with this, and see how it turns out. Okay, we can change things as we go along, as you know. So nothing is set in stone. We can change colours, we can add things in or take things out. We'll just see how we go along. Okay, so go on, I'll see you right back here in just a moment. Don't go anywhere. Okay, here we go. You can see the photograph on your screen there now, just so we can follow it along. I might only glance back and forward at that photograph just a couple of times, to be honest. I just want to kind of make this my own. We have a 16 by 12 canvas, and it's primed twice with just my own homemade primer. Sanded kind of very smooth, so it's really smooth, kind of a gesso feel. Alright, it's very smooth. There's no rough sandpapery kind of a feel off of the canvas. Some of the cheap canvases can be very kind of rough and gritty when you rub them, but when I do this, it's nice and smooth, and my brush strokes will move lovely across the canvas. I have a little drop of turpentine, that's all, nothing else. And my colours, I've just a good selection of colours here now. I have lots of different colours, right? Just nice and bright, vibrant colours. I've titanium white, a little bit of crimson, some cadmium red, some phaylo blue, some burnt sienna, some black, some cadmium yellow pale, and some burnt umber. I might add one or two extra colours to this as I go. I just basically have my box next to me with lots of different colours in there. I might pick one up if I think I need it, but I think we should be fine with these colours just for now. So let's crack on. I will just do a very quick sketch just up on the top here. We have like the horizon line, and we have the footpath kind of coming down like this, and then let's just bring that across there like that, and then like that, just to create a little bit of distance, that's all. And it's just a very rough guide to follow, that's all. Brushes, I won't need a big brush for this, so I'm thinking something slightly smaller. This is probably all right. Now my brushes are very badly worn, you can see. They're really badly worn, and that's just the way I like to use my brushes. If you like to reshape your brushes when you're finished, that's great. I don't reshape my brushes with tissue and that kind of thing. I just give them a clean out in the turpentine, I give them a good dry on the tissue, and I stand them in the jar. And that's fine for me. So look, I think I'm going to use this one. It's a flat. It's a number 12 flat, small flat, or the medium stubby brush would do just as well. I don't have one to hand at the moment. I just cannot find it. It's in here somewhere, but look, I'll just use this. It's the same as the medium stubby brush. So any small flat brush. And let's get right into it. I'm going to dampen this, just dip it in my turpentine very quickly, and then just soak off the excess a little. Okay, it's still quite damp, and I can see a lot of blue up here. So let's just go right in, pick up a bit of blue, a bit of white, phaylo blue, a bit of white, and you can see now that little bit of turpentine has helped kind of thin it out, and it's nice and creamy. Right, let's go right up here now. Get some nice rich, oh look at that, that's nice, isn't it? And there's dogs next door barking and howling. I don't know what they're barking at, but they're barking and barking and barking. Isn't that typical? Just when you want to do a tutorial, all the animals start barking and shouting and roaring, and there's noise and there's this and there's that. It's just typical, isn't it? But look, we'll get on through it. Okay, now I have a nice rich blue up there, right? And what I want to do then is I want to start adding some white as I come down. Let's just grab some white with our brush. Now I will dampen it just very slightly because the white gets very, very thick and creamy. So look, I'm just kind of leaving loose brush strokes, okay? Nice and loose. I'm not going to soften this with the soft brush or anything like that. There'll be no blending in this one today. Okay, now, more white. Let's just go for it. Look, there we go. Go right down there. And we come across here. I'll stop around there. And I'll leave it at that now for a moment. Let me just kind of rough it up a bit. Look, I'm roughing it up with my brush. I want it to look rough. I don't want it to look smooth. I want it to look very rough and kind of abstracty. You know what I mean? Okay, there. That's quite good. Now I'll clean my brush. And I have a very dark kind of row of bushes up there, don't we? So I'm going to take a little, let's say phaylo blue, and I might try a little touch of yellow. Okay, plenty of that colour now, plenty of both of that colour, more on the blue side, and let's just put that in. That's still a bit greeny, isn't it? Let's take a touch of black. I'm just going to scrub it on the canvas. Look, scrub, scrub, scrub. Push it right in. You don't need much thinners in this. In fact, I don't think I have very much thinners in this at all, to be quite honest. It's because it's only a small canvas. Now, if this was a big canvas, I would thin it slightly just to help it go further. But I think it's all right. It's only a small canvas, so I don't need lots and lots and lots of paint on it. Let's take some more blue and let's go for a touch of black, and let's darken it down here on this side. Okay, look, and I'm just very rough now. You can see what I'm doing with the brush, very, very roughly. It's just all a very loose impression, you see. That's all it is. I know I'd say a row of bushes, but you know, it's an impression of a row of bushes off in the distance. That's all it is. Now I might take a touch of white, of that whitey blue there. You see, look, I just pulled a bit of white out, and I'm just going to maybe just dab a little bit of that colour through it here and there. Just to mix it up a bit, that's all. Okay, just like that. And I'm going to clean my brush, I dip it in my turpentine and give it a good dry on that. Look, just a really good dry. Just to get the majority of that paint off. And what I'm then going to do is, basically, I have a tiny bit of paint on the brush still, okay, of that colour. I'm just going to leave it. I'm going to pick some white, get some white up, and there's a nice bit of white kind of flicking around in there, here and there, look, see? And then just kind of flicking it up, because we have a nice light spot here in the centre. There, look, and I'm even going into the green, and I'm softening some of that green into the sky also. So everything now is sort of merging together, but you can still see the shape of those row of trees off in the distance. Now, more white again, look. Go right in, don't be shy. Just pick it up and lash it onto the canvas. Let's have a bit of fun, come on. This is fun now, isn't it? There. Now, I will probably add a touch with the knife later, just to give some more kind of solid shapes, if you know what I mean. But look, I'm just kind of softening it all through. Not worrying too much. Now that's fine, you see. It's a very loose kind of a style, isn't it? Right, clean the brush, dip it in your turpentine, give it a good wipe on your tissue. We have a relatively clean brush again. So, the next part, you can see we have a little bit of kind of a pinky brown coming in here, don't we? So, let's dampen the brush very gently, just a corner of the brush, dab it on your tissue. It's all, I think it's very difficult to explain about controlling the dampness of your brush. Sometimes I will just dip the corner of the brush in to my turpentine and even still give it a dab on the tissue. So I only want the tiniest little amount of turpentine on my brush just to thin the paint slightly. Now it's dry, but it's a little bit moist, you know, it's just a tiny bit moist, if you know what I mean. Let's just go for it. Let's pick up some crimson, okay, good bit of crimson, and let's pick up a touch of burnt sienna. Now crimson, burnt sienna, I didn't mix them, and just go right on here, look. And we're going to mix into the blue, create nice little tones, different tones, lights and darks. And you can even bring it across, perhaps, into some of the green. and bring the green across into this, so they're complementing each other. Okay, nice and loose. Now keep the brush nice and clean every now and then, so give it a little rub. Okay, then I might just pick up some red on its own, and I'm going to add a splash of red in there. Come on, what the heck, let's have a bit of fun. Let's go crazy with colour. And I'm going to pick up, let me think now, right, let me pick up a touch of pink with some sienna. Now it's on the brush, you can see two different sides, pink on one, sienna on the other, and I'm just mixing it up here on the canvas, look. Okay, let's try a little bit of red with a bit of yellow. Now, see, they're not even mixed, I'm just putting it on. Ah, that's a nice rich orange now, isn't it? There we go. I'll dampen my brush very, very slightly, just a little, because it's a little dry, kind of scraping it across the canvas. So that just helps kind of soften the paint out very slightly. There now, look at that. Nice bit of orange. So I'm just kind of mixing it all together, like so. And I might take a little touch of pink just on its own, and add a little splash of pink in there, look. Because it's an impression of a kind of a row of trees, but it doesn't necessarily have to look like a row of trees as such, if you understand what I mean. You know what I mean? It's whatever you want it to be, type of thing. Now I took a bit of yellow with some white. I'm just going to put a couple of little flicks here and there. Look, a little bit of nice bright colour, little, you know, just to catch your eye. Have a bit of fun with this. Now I'm going to make a nice orange for this section here. I'm going to take some yellow, some cadmium red, a bit more red there now, and I'm using kind of most of the time now it's just thick paint on its own. There's very little thinners in this, if any at all, in fact. So very little thinners. And as I said, if it was a bigger canvas I might thin it out very slightly, but it's only a small canvas, so I can just work with paint on its own. Now some yellow with some white. And let's just add a couple of little flicks in here. You can use the palette knife for this one as well if you want, and I will use the palette knife very soon. I'm covering the bulk of the canvas with the brush. Do you know what I mean? There we go. Just kind of softening it in here and there, a touch of colour. Right, give this a wipe on a tissue, and let me take a look now. I might start with some knife work. Yes, I'll take my palette knife. Now you can try different palette knives. You can try this type of one, or you can try that type of one, whichever you feel you want to try yourself. I think I'll just try this one. I'll take, I can see a splash of red up there, so just a little red, cadmium red on the knife, and let's just put a couple of little flicks here and there. Look, see? Just add a splash of colour in there. And perhaps with the same knife, take a little dab of yellow, and let's put a little splash of yellow around here and there. I'm just kind of scraping it and flicking it along here and there. See? So it's gently building up the layers then. Now a bit of yellow and a touch of white. And now we're talking. Look at this nice bright area. Nice little bright area in here, just to kind of catch your eye, catch your attention. You can see now, it's already starting, it's very abstract, isn't it? It's great fun. It's very kind of an old style painting, isn't it? And in fact, with a clean palette knife, you could even take a little touch of white, okay, just a little white, and come over here into the sky, and scrape a touch of it into the sky, look, see? And kind of soften it out then with your palette knife out to the sides. Doesn't matter if it leaves lines from the knife, that's okay, that's fine. Now, isn't that nice? We have a nice light area in the centre there. How fun is this? Isn't this just brilliant? I love painting these kinds of paintings every now and again, just to let yourself go. And I'm going to do the footpath. Let's try, now just give it a quick dip in your turpentine again, and a quick dry on some tissue. Let me get some clean tissue here now. And by the way, I have a coffee here, I must take a sip of coffee. Can't forget the coffee, that's very important, isn't it? Let's give this a quick dry here now, okay? So wet the brush with your turpentine and let the tissue soak the colour off. There we go. Okay, now that's fine. It's not clean, but it's fine. Let's go back into some white, a touch of blue, and a touch of that pink. Okay? Touch of blue, and a touch of the pink. And starting off in the distance, I'm just going to wiggle it side to side, just for the distant part, okay? And it's almost going to soften in to that row of trees there. You see the way now I'm picking up the colours from this section here. That's what I want, you see. It picks up the colours and I'm kind of dragging them very gently across. And let's go for some red and a touch of blue down here. And now this nice purpley mauvey colour will complement the orange lovely. They're complementary colours, so they really kind of bounce off each other. There we go. Now I'm going to dampen it again very gently, just the corner of the brush. Again, just to help thin the paint. And I'm going to get some red with a little touch of sienna. And I'm going to put some of that in there. So I'm basically I'm going to mirror image some of these colours down here onto the footpath. Okay? Now we have a lot of orange, don't we? Let's pick up some yellow with some red and put that in there. Now be careful with the blue, you don't want to go green, okay? So let's take a touch of pink and put a touch of pink in between. That'll help. That should help neutralise any greens going on. And a touch more red. So now we're really cracking on, aren't we? Let's get a touch of brown. And a touch of brown in there. And I'll go with a touch of pink as well. So you can see now I'm just picking up lots of different colours and I'm just going for it. Isn't that right? I do want to bring this line, excuse me, I do want to bring this line down a little bit more. So I'll take some yellow with some red. I'm just going to bring that line down a little bit further on the left. Let me get some more white, some yellow and a little touch of red. I just want to put more of an angle on this line here. That's all, just to help with the perspective just a little bit. Now, that'll do fine. That's okay for now. What I'll do there now is just very quickly, with a small round brush, okay, just dampen it slightly, take a touch of brown, or even a touch of black, whichever, and I'm just going to create the line of the roadway here, just very quickly, look. Just to give me an indication of where it's going to stop. Now, that's it. Right, next I'm going to take my original, now we have the same brush all the time, we're using the same brush. I'm going to take a touch of brown and a touch of the pink and I'm going to darken some of that just down here. Let's get some more brown and gently kind of soften it up here and there, just to create a kind of a dark patch just along the edge of that tree line there. Now let's even try some black. Let's go for some black and some pink. And again, be careful with your black next to the yellow because black and yellow will turn green. So be very, very careful with that. You could even try a touch of sienna rather than the black. That would help as well. Okay, and then pick up a little touch of red and pull them kind of out into the footpath there. Alright. I'm just trying to avoid any colours going green. That's what I'm trying to do. So I'm using little touches of red to stop anything kind of turning green. Does that make sense? Okay, let me just take a look here now. Right, what I might do next is, with my palette knife, this flat edge, or you could use one of these, doesn't matter. I'm just going to scrape some colour out words like that. I'm going to go for some red first. And I'm just going to go along and I'm going to drag some red across the footpath here and there. Okay, just like that. And then I'll grab maybe a touch of burnt sienna. Okay, see? And I'm going to give it a quick wipe on some tissue. Let's pull out a bit of yellow. And let's drag a nice patch of yellow across here, look. Oh, that's nice, isn't it? So again, just reflecting. Now you could say I got a little tiny touch of green there, didn't I? Now you could leave it if you want. You can if it's absolutely fine. I'm just going to touch a little bit of red over that. And then clean your knife. And we have some white with some yellow. Okay, let's just drag that across there. You see, I'm being very free. I'm not worried where it's going and how it's going to turn out. Just drag it across. Okay, isn't that coming on lovely? Now we have some not trees, we have some poles in there, don't we? So you could use, again, your palette knife, but I think for this time, I think I'll just use a small round brush. Now let me find a little round brush here now, so you can see. There, that'll do fine. Okay, dampen your brush, dry it on the tissue, and let's go into some black. Let's just grab some black, look. Let's keep it simple. And we have a pole here. Let's just go with one here. And let's put another one here, right through that dark area. And let's go again. I'll make this one now higher, okay? Because I want to get some perspective this way. So for perspective, it's going to come down from the top here, and from the bottom it's going to go up. So everything is moving off into one point, off in the distance here. So we could put another one here, okay? And another one or two off in the distance, like so. And they're literally just kind of flicks with the brush, that's all there. Little tiny flicks. Right, just going to grab a bit of red there for that. I'm just going to sit those down, just a little. And then I'm going to add a touch of highlight to those. So I might take a touch of yellow, touch of red, and a touch of white. And just go along the edges of those with the knife, look. Just like so. Very simple, isn't it? And that's it, simply done, nice and easy. Now I'm going to switch to this palette knife because it has a nice round edge on top. Okay, I'm going to, you see it? It has a nice round edge. I'm just going to pick up some yellow with that and some white. Give it a small mix there, look, just for a couple of seconds. And then let's go on and put on our lights. 1, 2. Now we don't want them too big, I suppose, off in the distance because it would look a bit silly, wouldn't it? So let's keep the really big ones close up. And pick up another bit of white. Round in circles, look. Take a nice big light on those. Give it a wipe, and let's pick up a little dab of yellow, or white, sorry. Little dab of white on its own, and a dab of white into the centre of those. Just one or two of them. And that's fine. Now, we have a little reflection of those, don't we? So, reflections. All you do is take a small brush. Now you might have your own way of doing this, that's absolutely fine. You can do it yourself if you like, your own particular style. But let's just give this a little wiggle. Look, little wiggle here and there. One there. You can see I went a bit green, didn't I? Okay, that's okay. Let's fix it. Let's take some brown and a touch of red and go over that just a little bit. And let's get some more black, touch of brown maybe, and do some off in the distance here. You see, just very free, very free, very loose. Don't worry too much. Now I'm going to go back in there and just add a touch more light with this bit that I already have. Touch more light just in there, look, here and there, with the knife. I think that's just gives a nice effect, doesn't it? And we have a footpath pretty much finished now, don't we? Is that lovely now and loose? Lovely loose kind of a style. Let's just move across to this. And this now is very simple. I know it looks complicated with all these lines, but look, it'll be fine, I promise. I'll just give my brush a quick clean, okay? And I'll go into some, just with a slightly damp brush now. Let's take a touch of blue again, and a touch of white. Again, nice and free, nice and loose. Don't worry too much, okay? Let's put a bit of blue across here. And just start coming down a little bit. The touch, you see, because we're reflecting all of these colours, let's make it a bit darker. Okay, let's add a touch of pink into that. Now scrape it on, that's it, go right in there and scrape it all the way across. Now let's put in our dark green that we had. A little bit of black, a little bit of yellow. We have this dark green up there. Perhaps, let me just see here now. Perhaps let's just take a bit of black, bit of yellow, and touch of that blue. So they're almost softening together now, you see. And in fact we could even soften them together off in the distance. There we go. Now the next part, I suppose, look, it's just mirroring what's above it really, isn't it? So we could add a touch of that orangey kind of a colour down here. Let's take some red, some yellow. Just scrape a bit of that out. A little bit of red, a little bit of yellow. There we go, look at that. Isn't this lovely? And if you find it's getting dry like that, look, I'm just going to dampen my brush very, very slightly and go into more paint. Let's try a bit of pink this time with a bit of yellow. A lot of fun this. I'm kind of looking at the photograph, the other painting, the reference painting, but only very loosely. I'm not following exactly what's going on, okay? Now, right, what I'm going to do is just basically concentrate on filling this in with the brush. And then I'll put my knife work on top of that, alright? So, a bit more yellow, a bit more white. Up here. Like that across. A bit more white perhaps, a bit of pink. Yeah, a bit of pink in there too, would be nice. Lots of thick paint on your brush, look, lots of pink. There we go. And let's take some of that pinky colour. Let's come down here and add some of that there. Now it's not, I know there's no pink up there, but I'm just kind of trying to complement colours and that type of thing, okay? Little bit of burnt sienna, perhaps a bit of white. See, just throw lots of different colour in there. That's what I'm kind of doing now at this stage. Just mixing lots of different colours, but just being careful also, very careful. Little bit of whitey yellow, look, just there like that. So we have a kind of a base coat there now on that, don't we? A very kind of a loose base coat. Let me get some more paint out. I need paint. So I'm going to take some cadmium yellow. There it is, over there. And I'm going to take some titanium white. Big tube nearly gone, look at that. What long going was it? And I'll push that now all the way out there, look. Get some of that colour out. And I'm going to need some reds, aren't I? So let me get some nice reds here now. Cadmium red. Yeah, cadmium red. There it is. And we're going to need some crimson, just a little bit of alizarin crimson. Just a touch. And that'll do. Right, knife time. Let's take some of this blue here and a bit of white. Okay, I didn't mix it, and let's just scrape some of that across here, look. Here we go now with the knife work, look at that. Oh yeah, that's nice, isn't it? Scrape it across. There we go. And I'm going to just really just go crazy now with this. Let's take some blue and a bit of white, and let's create some ripples. Vertical ripples, look. That's it, see? A couple here and there. And I can't get to the end of the canvas because it's on top of this lip here of timber. So that's going to be a little tricky, and I have a kind of staple down just to stop it from moving around. So I'm going to have to go this way with it, look. I'm just putting in a couple of different kinds of different colours here and there. I'll just pick up a bit of white on its own, just for there, and because I want to keep that nice bright spot just up kind of in the centre area, yeah? That's kind of nice, isn't it? And let's put a couple of them whites over here. And look, you can see I'm just being very free and spontaneous with all of this, aren't I? A little bit of cadmium red, a little bit of burnt sienna. Put a bit of that along. It's very free painting, isn't it? I want to put a touch of orange somewhere. I'm thinking probably just here, look, a little touch of orange. It's just that splash of orange that kind of catches your eye, I find. Splash of yellow, clean your palette knife now just every now and again, just to keep it nice and clean. Perhaps a little touch of dark blue here and there would be nice. That's really eye-catching now, isn't it? And I'm really kind of just softening everything together as well. So just use your initiative, just kind of mess around with it, have a bit of fun. It's just about sticking loads of paint on the canvas and just seeing what happens. You don't have to have a kind of a set of rules all of the time. I know when you're painting landscapes, okay, you have to have a certain kind of set of rules, mixing colours together and that kind of thing. But with this, there's none of that. It's just completely loose and completely free. Now let me just take more white there. Just add a touch of white in way up there. Just a little, couple of ripples here and there. See? Just dabbing it up, nice and gently. Now there's a bit of green there, but that's fine. I was just kind of hoping to stay away from the green, you know, just in this painting. The yellowy greens. Right, let me just sit back and take a look at that. You see, it's nice and abstract now, isn't it? So what we will do is, actually, we will continue our reflections of our posts down just a little there, look. See? Just like that, see? Nice and loosely. And we might have a little dab of yellow here and there, very bright yellow, from the lamps and the poles. So let's just put a look, a little hint of one there. Understand? It's just, you know, have a bit of fun. Come on, let's just have a bit of fun with this. Don't be afraid. Don't be afraid of the palette knife. It won't bite, okay? I promise. Just pick it up, grab some paint, and go and have a bit of fun. There we are. And what I'll do then, I think what I did with the painting there is, I took a fan brush, if I remember correctly, and I kind of just very gently, hardly touching it, kind of dragged everything kind of across like this. Just to take the harshness out of some of the palette knife lines, just to take it out, and just to kind of soften them across very gently. I think that's what I did. Now, I'd done that painting a long time ago, so my memory is not the best, so do forgive me. And then maybe pick up some white with the fan brush, and you could even just drag some white across, like that also. And what I did also was, I took white on the fan brush and I just kind of did a couple of flicks like this, you see? Isn't that cool? Gives a nice effect. And we have some tree up here. Now I put the tree in just to complement the colours on this side, that's the only reason. Okay, so take a damp brush and let's get some burnt umber. Yeah, let's get some burnt umber with a touch of black, and let's just put a very quick suggestion of some branches up here, very, very loosely, look. It's only a suggestion, that's all. See, very quick. And then let's just take our palette knife and let's take a splash of red, a splash of yellow, and let's just dot, a little bit of that here and there on the tree. That's lovely, isn't it? So this colour now really complements the other colour on the other side, you see? And perhaps a touch of white with a touch of yellow down in the darks. You see what I mean? It's just that little bit extra. Let's take a little bit of pink. Let's put a bit of pink on there. Let's warm it up a little bit. And let's take a bit of red. Let's come over here and splash a bit of red on this. Okay, a bit of red, a bit of yellow. Because that orange is really eye-catching, isn't it? I just love that orange colour. Let's pop a bit of orange in here, look, here and there. Now, how's that looking? Nice abstract kind of a painting. Nothing too complicated. I'll just straighten the line here just very gently. Just to keep the outline of that footpath just a little bit, okay? And we have people with an umbrella walking. So again, it's very, very simple. Let's just go for a black, I think. Let's take a lot of black, a tiny bit of turpentine now just to help it move around. Because bear in mind you have a lot of thick paint here, so thin your paint very slightly. It should help move it around a bit. So let's just put a black carrot. Do you remember about the carrot? Of course you do. A black carrot. Now clean your brush because it's getting muddy. Just give it a clean. And let's take a bit more thick black on its own. On top of that, let's give him a little head. Okay, nice and simple. Then we have one next to that. We have another one. Let's just pop a nice splash of bright yellow in there. White and yellow. And you'll see it's going green already, isn't it? So just clean your brush and pick up more. You have to do this a couple of times now. Okay, clean your brush. And let's pick up, let's say red and a bit of pink. And make the bottom red and pink, okay? There. And then we have a little head also. Bit of brown, and we'll have a tail on this head. So this head will have a little tail. Look. See? Isn't that fantastic? Now, okay, just let me get some tissue there. Alright, all done. And the umbrella. Now actually what I wanted to do was put his arm around like that. Now that's quite nice. And we have an umbrella. Let's go for a bright red. How about that? And I can see it comes across like that, and it comes across the top and down. Now I'm picking up all the colours here, okay? That's absolutely fine. Just clean it with your tissue and go back in and pick up more. That's what it's all about, is about colours mixing together on the canvas, isn't it? Let's pick up a bit of yellow, look, and let's put a splash of yellow here as it's catching the light from that, and let's put a splash of pink on the back. Lots of thick paint now, look, don't be afraid of it. It's just an impression, that's all it is. And I'll take a small pointy brush now with some black and just go along and perhaps get the outline of the umbrella just a little. And let's put a little point, a little spire on the umbrella, and then one or two suggestions of some lines. And we also have the handle, don't we? Let's just bring the handle down here, like that. Now how about that? Isn't that lovely? You could hit some highlight on it if you like. A bit of white. Okay, that would do. And you could even put a bit of highlight on this shoulder here. And I will just darken some of that. You know, now, little bit of a reflection from them. Let's just grab a bit of black and let's just put a bit of black there, look. Just a slight, and a bit of red, a bit of brown, perhaps. Understand? You see what I mean now, you can see what I'm trying to achieve. It's just very loose. Very, very loose work. That's all it is. And you can hardly even make them out, you see, with everything else around them. But what I'll do then, you see, is I will let this dry out. I will let all of this dry for a couple of days anyway. And then I'll come back. I'll come back then and I'll just go back over some of the black just to make it more pronounced. Now I've no black left on my palette, so look, I'll pick up a tiny bit of blue even. That's a bit better now, isn't it? Just to bring them out that little bit. And I think that's it. We are pretty much done. You can add little touches of light again here and there if you like. So let's put a little bit there, just to bring out that light spot in the center again. And then very gently kind of just pull your fan brush gently across them, hardly touching them, just to kind of soften the edges, that's all. And that's it. We are finished. Last but not least, don't forget to sign, because your painting is worthless if there's no signature. Isn't that right? S. Conway. And there we are. Right, let me zoom in and show you what we have created. You always get a better view when you zoom in slightly, don't you? Nice and slowly. Look at that now, you see? Lots of loose brushwork. Just lots of colours thrown together. Isn't that lovely? And it's just a very loose and free type of a painting to try. And it's great fun. It really, really is. Now please do try something like this. You can make it your own, you can add different colours in, or whatever you like. But do try it. It really is a lot of fun. And there we are. So let me turn the camera now so you can see me. Let me just adjust the camera here and look down on me. And that's it. You can see me alright. That was great fun. I enjoyed that. That's really lovely fun. And even that now with a frame on it would be fantastic. A really eye-catching piece for a bland wall or something. Something like this will go lovely in a lot of different rooms because there's so many different colours in it. It's bound to pick up a colour from the room somewhere. So something like this now really on a blank white wall even or something would look absolutely stunning. So do try it. Even on a bigger size as well, because this is only 16 by 12. It's very small. 20 by 16 would be lovely, or even bigger. A real eye-catching piece of wall art. So go and have a try. Just see what you think. Let yourself just go. Just try and break through that barrier of doing everything carefully and being very neat and tidy. Just try and break through that barrier in your head and just lash on the colour, and just don't even worry about how it's going to turn out. It is what it is. It's just paint. All right. Go on, just try it. Have a bit of fun. If you want, if you have any questions, just email me stephenconway12@gmail.com. If you want any stubby brushes, the same again. And patrons, I have another lovely painting coming up for you on Patreon. Just to thank you so much for all your support. You're being very, very kind. You know, it's really helping me do all of this. Your support really goes a long way to helping me with all of this, materials, you name it. Okay, so thank you so much for that. I'm not forgetting about you, don't worry. I have a lovely painting coming up very soon. That will be uploaded in the next couple of days, maybe next week, I'm hoping. So listen, thank you so much for tuning in. Go and have a bit of fun with that. Let me know how you get on, and happy painting. I'll see you next week. God bless.